Welcome back to the Ciaran and Josh experience. I'm Josh McKenna.
My name's Ciaran Sanders.
And we have the guest this week.
Yeah, like we do every week.
Of course, related to last week's guest. Of course, not by blood, because that'd be a little messed up. But
don't know why you had to include that. But
our PR guy's girlfriend.
Hi, my name's Angela.
Angela,
it's good to be here.
Angela, you're gonna need to move your face a little bit closer to the mic.
Angela
Sorry, I'm
is
new at this.
sitting in the studio so casual. She's just trying to lean back in her chair, keep the mic so far from her face. Come on, Angela.
Wow. Well,
get with the times.
Considering you talked about me so much last podcast episode, I'm happy to put a voice to the name.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did we tell the story about you crying when Justin and I made you cry last podcast? I can't remember. I think we might have told the story, actually.
No, we told it. You told me afterwards.
Did I? Oh. Well.
It's not like
Here.
you tell it all the time.
You know what?
So.
Hey, Josh, you tell it so many times that we might as well just throw it up twice on the podcast anyways.
Should I tell the story?
Please commence.
All right.
I don't know.
All right. Angela, do you mind if I tell this story? It's a good story. I think it's a good introduction to Angela.
Really? It's like one of my lowest moments, so...
All right, we want.
Come on, Angela.
This is a raw and real
Angela,
podcast.
you've been lower.
No.
Come on.
Well, I mean, sure.
Okay.
It's already been told. It's already out.
You know. Let's push this back a little bit. Actually, let's introduce you first. How about? I mean, how do we know Angela?
Yes.
I honestly can't remember the first time that. I think that Angela, we were never like properly introduced.
No, I don't think so either.
We were just like I kind of knew who you were.
Yeah.
And you kind of knew who I was. And
yeah.
I think at like a few points we saw each other at parties.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, Angela, what are you doing here? I think there was one actually specifically.
I remember. Okay, I remember knowing of you.
Yeah. I saw you in the plays, of course, at DSS, of course.
And then I saw you at a party.
And
we
I didn't know
about your Justin Trudeau shirt.
Yes, of course, I was wearing that. Yeah.
And then
because
I saw
Angela,
you.
she does not like Mr. Trudeau, but we love.
Yeah, you were. Well, I wouldn't say I love him now.
I'm
but
kind of indifferent about him.
I'm a fan of him still.
So.
I support him.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think Angela, like I've worn that shirt a lot. It's just
I know.
a bunch of faces of Justin Trudeau.
It's a big old collage.
Yeah, yeah.
Justin Trudeau faces.
Yeah, it's really unattractive. Just.
Well, I was just gonna say
a collage of one of the most attractive men in the world all over his shirt is unattractive.
Don't tell that to Sophie, please.
I mean, what does Angela think is attractive? Like a Stephen Harper face collage on a shirt? She's like,
so
yeah.
just
no politicians
robot
on clothing, please.
But anyways, I wear this T-shirt a lot to parties because it's a great conversation starter. And Angela was, I think, the first, and I think I don't know if they have had someone who just walked up to me and said, like, I hate that guy. Like, straight up hate that guy. Most people are like, yeah, I'm not a big fan. You know, they're like,
you said it's a conversation starter.
Yeah, but I've never had something so outright negative just from the get-go.
Wow.
Well, at that point in my life, I was a poli-sci student, so I was like constantly studying it. So I was happy to just.
So you were just sick of him?
Yeah, I was.
You're like, I read too much about your great life. I just don't want to hear about it anymore.
Yes, I remember that. And then I remember seeing you at the Arkells concert.
Oh, yeah, rock on,
and
Arkells.
Then I think, and I don't know, just through the grapevine.
Yeah.
Oh, through the Ladner grapevine, which is a particularly small grapevine.
Yes.
And then I guess, Angela, we go back to like the early days of church, like Sunday school and that whole deal.
You guys went to Sunday school together?
Oh,
yeah, but we didn't talk at all until
Angela was
we were both in the play.
One. Yeah.
I would say. Yeah, because I remember going to events and you were always around, but I don't know, you were a year younger, so I didn't necessarily associate.
You were too cool?
I'm lesser than her. I wasn't worthy, you know.
Yep.
You know.
Story of Josh's life.
And then he started dating one of my friends in the play. And
yes.
then we started talking a bit
Tessa?
more.
No, dude, when did I ever...
When
no,
did-
that was the fake relationship.
I thought that was the fake relationship
no,
in the play.
But I was also dating someone for real at the same time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I digress.
That was so fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's when our friendship really blossomed.
Yeah.
There's some scorn in that, Angela. Do you want to...
I know, that sounded like there was some underlying issues there.
No.
Maybe when Josh tells the story, we can address the issues.
That's when Angela's emotions are really going to come out after I tell this story.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'd just like to set the scene of where we are right now. I mean, we're just sitting around in the studio. We're sipping some Moscato that Ciaran picked up before coming here.
$8 at the Ledner liquor store. Yeah, highly recommend.
A little sweet for my taste, but Ciaran, he can't handle things unless they're more juice-like. He's actually sipping it out of a juice box currently. And
it's his chase for the pink mascara.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're just sitting here burning some nice incense.
What do we have burning today?
I believe the scent is called Ruby.
Ooh.
But and it's from this brand called Shoyedo.
Shoyedo?
Yes.
Awesome
Natural
pronunciation.
Incense. Thank you. So
he actually took that compliment.
I know.
Yeah.
So it's I really like the scent. It's down to my last couple sticks of this. My first box of incense. This.
Really?
Wow.
Where'd you get it?
It was actually bought for me in the little Diagon Alley area of Victoria.
Oh yeah.
Part,
I know it. The Chinatown area?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But so now let's get into this story about the time that Justin and I brought Angela to tears.
Oh yes. Tell it again, please.
How about we just, Angela and I, we put our mics down and we just let Josh go. We can't say anything. And we get one comment at the end.
I kind of want Angela's 2 cents all the way through it, you know?
Okay, yeah, never mind then. Yeah, Angela, I'll put my mic down. How about that?
I don't know. Angela might shed a couple tears on throughout the story, just reliving the experience. So
it hurts.
So I guess this is when Angela was she was kind of a newer driver still. So she's still at her end, so she can legally only drive one extra person. And if any police are listening to this, this is a lie. But Angela was driving Justin and I into Langley, I believe, to go to this young adults night. And so as we're on the road and we're getting into Langley, we mess with Angela a little bit, you know? Because she's a little high strung at this point, you know, driving a couple extra people. And so I'm saying things that are just, there's no way that they're not made up. And I'm just I'm in the back seat and I'm like, Angela, there's a police car right behind us, and the officer, he's sitting in the driver's seat and he's looking at you. Oh, Angela, he's got a gun out. He's literally only pointing it at your head, not the rest of us. And Angela's and Angela's like, no, he's not. Shut up. Stop saying that. And you're like, Angela, he knows you're over passengering, Angela. He knows you took the N off the back. Angela, and she's like, no, stop it, okay?
I just wanted people to support me while I drove. And he said it in a more convincing way. He's saying it now like it was totally false.
Okay, how do you say it more convincingly? There's a police officer right behind us right now.
I trusted you.
He could tell that you're over passengering, and he's got a gun out, and it's pointed at your head.
Okay, Angela, you said you were looking for support.
Come on, Angela.
I really don't think that if you went to Sunday school with Josh, you go that far back with Josh and you were looking for support in that position.
That's true.
I think you need to reevaluate your priorities. I really do.
But after keeping Angela going like this for a bit, we get to the young adults thing. So then we go there, and then we leave afterwards, and on the way home, on the way home, there are 2 lanes on the highway, and you have to get into the left-hand lane by a certain point. Otherwise, you're going to exit into New Westminster. The road just kind of forks, and it's pretty abrupt. It's easy to accidentally go to New West. So I say to Angela as we're getting in the car, I say, Angela, remember, make sure to stay on the left-hand lane when we get on the highway, or else you will exit into New West, and you don't want that to happen. And Justin's like, oh, yeah, he's right, Angela. Okay, so we get in the car. It's all good. We're driving down, and Angela, she shifts into the left-hand lane, and we're approaching the fork in the road. Justin and I know this. I guess Angela's not very familiar with roads.
I saw the sign, literally, I saw the sign.
And so,
for some reason, I didn't change anything.
Angela's just in the left-hand lane, like we told her to. And then I say, Angela, what are you doing? Why are you getting in the left-hand lane? You need to be in the right-hand lane. And she's like, no, what? You told me to get in the left-hand lane, so I don't go to New West. And I said, no, Angela, I told you to get in the right-hand lane. And she's like, no, okay, no, you're lying. You're messing with me. And then Justin just out of nowhere hops in on this, and he goes, no, Ange, he's right. Like, you got to get in the right-hand lane. And I was like, Angela, do you want to go to New Westminster? Like, what are you doing right now? You got to get in the right-hand lane. The turn's coming up. And she's like, no, guys, stop it. Like, I know you're... And Justin's like, no, Angela, he's right. And I'm like, Angela, get in the right-hand lane. And so she whips over to the right-hand lane. And we got, like, I don't know, maybe like 100 feet until the road forks and we're going to go to New West. And then we immediately just go, Angela, what are you doing? We were just messing with you, dude. Get back in the left-hand lane. And Angela's just like, she screams. She's, ah! And just whips back into the left-hand lane. I don't think she even shoulder checked. She could have clipped someone.
Whoa. No shoulder check.
No shoulder check. If you're a police officer and you're listening to this is a lie. But whips over into the left-hand lane.
What
right?
got me was...
Okay, Angela, this is the climax of the story. Can you please not interrupt? Okay, gosh, Angela. And then whips in the left-hand lane. She could have hit someone, and it gets quiet, except for Justin and I laughing a little bit. And then we look over to Angela. There's just a single tear that just goes down the side of her face.
Yes.
It was pretty chuckle-worthy, I gotta be honest. Oh, man.
Yeah, like I was saying, I think basically what happened was I wasn't going to listen to Josh at that point, but then Justin hopped on, and then I like...
Why would you listen to Justin,
I don't know.
though?
And now I can never, like, when you guys are together, like, I constantly have to rely on my own, like, thoughts. And, yeah, I think it was the same week I got my license, and, like, driving in an unfamiliar area. It was so eventful, but... Yep, he tells that story almost to every single person when we're together, so that's great. Hope you all enjoyed it.
It's a great story. Come on, you can't deny that.
Yeah, I think actually it's funny because I remember it happening, but you remember it so vividly, so I think it was just so traumatizing that
Just got a mosquito there. Sorry for that sound effect.
So traumatizing that I don't remember it as
you just
much detail.
Blocked it out of your memory, like when people have they go through like extreme trauma and then like they don't remember until something triggers them later. Like, I feel like, we're going to be driving on the street one day with Angela, right? and something's going to trigger it. I don't know, like a road sign saying, like, exit here. And she's just going to whip into the left-hand lane and, like, cause a huge accident. It's going to be terrible.
Yep. Well, I'll be back on the podcast to talk about that when it happens.
Yeah. Oh, rock on. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so for this next little bit, I think we're going to kind of jump around a bit, and we're going to try a new segment before we get into the weekly and song of the week. So first off, Josh and I are going to go see Hereditary tomorrow.
Yeah.
We will be right back with I guess we should do a review for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do a review.
So I've heard Ciaran, actually. I know a couple people who've seen it already. A lot of people loved it, and now I think this kind of happens with every good movie that comes out. The hype is making people get some people get disappointed with it, but I've heard that it's very, like, you have to really focus on it to understand what's going on. Like, a lot of people have walked out of the movie and been really confused and then had to like look up an explanation of the movie afterwards. Apparently it's very arty,
subliminal, and
very much an art film. So
plot,
I think
from what I've heard, sorry to cut you off, but plot isn't really the driving force. It's more, like you said, art is.
Yeah. So I think going into it with that mindset, I think we should be satisfied with the film, because I've heard very good things about it, and I do like a good kind of art horror films. I think are really interesting. So.
Well, I mean, Josh, you and I are just so cultured, and I mean, we have pretty high intelligences, so we can,
of course.
You just tackle anything that comes our way in terms of. I don't think we need an explanation. I think we could write our own.
Well, do you remember we watched that movie? We watched that movie Baskin in the summer. Right?
Yeah.
That was really interesting. It just the imagery in that and trying to like.
It's all black and white, right? That was the one.
No. That was the one. Baskin is the one where there's the cops and they.
Oh
go
yeah.
Right?
Of course.
And it's very interesting to watch. It's a Turkish movie.
And one of the few Turkish films actually to make it out of Turkey.
Yeah, and it's just like some of the imagery in that movie is probably some of the most disturbing imagery I've seen in a film. Like when they first go down into that.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't want to spoil anything, but it's got a lot of interesting imagery, that movie. So I'd give that one a watch.
Angela, we have written up here. We're gonna plug your blog that you have.
Oh yeah.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I actually have I don't know anything about
awesome.
it, to be honest with you.
Well, I started it in November. I did it at first to kind of brand myself, because what I go to school for, everyone has like really cool Instagrams and
Well, I mean, also Angela goes to SFU, so they don't really get much of a reputation on their own.
Yeah,
so she needs to brand herself to make up
That's
for the
correct.
SFU-ness of herself, right?
Thanks
So,
for that. Anywho, yeah, it's kind of a passion project. I write about things that I think are really
project.
relevant. Yeah, it is. I think I talk about things that I would like to share, and I feel like people will relate to them too. So it's kind of cool to have. I've had people who I never thought would read it, who I never really talked to, come up to me and discuss it with me. So that opens new opportunities.
That's been kind of the same thing with the podcast.
Oh,
like some
sure.
people.
No word of a lie. Yeah, I've heard. Actually, big shout out to. I honestly I didn't get the names of the people, but my friend Harrison Martin was at, like some friend's house, and he said, "Oh, by the way, some girls were talking about like, oh, do you know Ciaran Sanders and Josh Kenna?" He's like, "Yeah, I know those guys."
Yeah.
Like, oh, they have a podcast, right? And I was like, "Holy
Whoa.
crap! What?"
Yeah,
I know, right?
It's
Yeah.
cool.
I was like, "What?" They got like they actually know it. And Ava Sherman.
Yeah.
You know Ava Sherman.
Yeah.
I was working with her last night. She's like,
Yeah.
"So how's the podcast going?" Like super.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like in common, like she wasn't doing it to make me feel good about myself. She was actually asking,
Yeah, I know.
which
Yeah.
made me feel. Thank
Yeah.
you, Ava.
Yeah,
Oh my
the
goodness.
one thing I've got sometimes is when I've met people who only know you, and then I go, "Oh, I'm Josh," and they're like, "Wait, Josh, like, as in like the Ciaran and Josh experience?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Sorry, continue,
Yeah.
Angela.
Yeah, but it is true. And especially in a small town, like, you don't have a lot of opportunities to talk to some people you wouldn't really run in the same circle with. So when you have these projects, it's cool. So yeah, I write about that stuff. I'm really inactive on it right now, working on getting better, and
Yeah.
I'll be back with new content soon.
And
Ooh.
it's a lot. It's focused on millennials, right?
Yeah, I think I wanted it to have kind of a niche, so I had stuff to write about that was more applicable to other people. Plus, that's a huge age range, so that's great. But yeah, millennials, more so kind of my experience living where I do and being my age. And yeah, like I write about Ladner, I write about dating.
Well, it's stuff that you care about, right? Yeah.
Things
Yeah.
that, and even stuff I don't really necessarily experience. but-
Dating. If you would love to, Angela, I mean, if you want to write another piece on dating, I highly recommend getting Tessa Ratan for commentary
Oh,
on that piece. She
yeah.
did some great commentary on
did.
online dating when she was on the podcast.
Very useful information.
I know, I'm sure. And as someone who doesn't, like, I did write one about Tinder, and I needed to look to other people to source that information. So I'd be happy and welcome that opportunity, for sure.
Yeah, we'll get her people to talk with your people. I mean,
Perfect.
you must have a PR guy on your blog, right?
Like you have a secretary at
Yeah.
least, right?
No, it's a one-woman show.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
At Angela Vannatter
Oh my
online.
goodness.
I know.
Dang.
Shocking.
Okay, so
Holy
and
crap.
the link they can go to is angelavannatter.com.
AngelaVannatter.wordpress.com.
Of
We'll
course.
huck a URL on our
Thank you.
Instagram
Yeah.
as well as on our WordPress.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah,
And
no
in
Love
the
the
comments.
cross promotion.
in the
Absolutely.
bio. In the bio. Link in bio.
No, Angela, don't give me that $20 bill right now. We're not. Okay, just stop
It's
it.
not happening.
Well, I told you.
promise.
What do you mean? You told me to plug the podcast, and I give you $20.
It's fine.
Just stop. Okay, listen. I don't want your money. Stop putting it in my pocket right now. Okay.
All right.
Anyways,
Karen, just take the money. It wasn't a great.
I know I wasn't gonna do it right now though. I don't want to hear the crinkling paper.
I don't know why she
The
had to do it while we
listeners
were
know
doing
the
the podcast, but
Yeah. Well, so I did Tough Mudder race on the weekend. I missed. Josh actually had a psychedelic themed extravaganza.
Oh,
I think that's the
yes.
right word,
it
isn't it?
was the McKenna household downstairs area. No, wait. I'm
The
messing
McKenna
it up.
household
Backyard banger and downstairs area party, psychedelic themed.
Yes.
Yes. But I was in Whistler doing Tough Mudder. It's like a 13K race with 20s. I don't know if it's 26 obstacles because I originally signed up for the half Tough Mudder,
Oh yeah.
which is 8K and 13 obstacles, and we were doing it, and the obstacles just sucked. Like it was like carry your other mudder, and it was like just give your mudder like they call it mudder. They always
Yeah.
use the term like carry your friend in a piggyback like 10 yards. And
Yeah,
I was like,
the-
well, this is
the
I can do
mudder
this in my
thing-
backyard.
The mudder thing confuses me a little bit because I remember when my mom went to go do it a couple of years ago, and I thought it was like actually just a thing that like moms went to do.
Yeah, no, there's
And
it's
they
that
all
was
drink
the
beer after.
the Mutterella, I think it's called.
Yeah. She went to Mutterella.
Yeah, that's a different race. The company that runs it, they do a whole bunch of different types of races. I did the good old fashioned Tough Mudder, but we decided like because there were signs that was like people who signed up to do the half go left, and people who signed up to the right go the full one go right. We would just do the full one, and no one asked us. There was like no wristbands or whatever.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like the obstacles were like some of them were pretty extravagant. Like there was a big pit.
Yeah.
And there was these like revolving blocks that you had to like grab onto, and then like the other side, people on the other side that had already gotten over would have to like pull down on this like cube, and you would like kind of vault over. And there was 5 guys. I did it with 4 of my friends, and we were running and we were doing it. And the water is up to there's water in this pit.
Yeah.
And it's like up to your neck.
Oh
yeah.
My goodness.
And yeah, and we were like all clinging onto this. It's like a long rectangle.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like clinging on. We're like trying to climb up, and we just couldn't do it. And I look over, and I see this. There's like people of all sizes and all like abilities do this race.
Yeah.
I see this 300-pound Samoan guy, and he's like one of the only people on the other side to like push down, because a lot of people are just doing the next like whatever the next cube thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey man, can you help us out? Because we're like hanging on, and he's like, he doesn't even say anything because he's pretty gassed. Like this guy's, I don't know how he got over.
Yeah.
Like this guy must have worked so hard, like way harder than all of us. He just like almost like one-man armies it and just pushes down on this massive cube, and 5 of us go like right over. And then we got out of the obstacle, and I see him sitting down. Like this guy was just toasted. Like he looked so tired. I was like, thanks, man. And he's like, just looks up at me, and he just like nods his head. I was like, oh, awesome.
Does it matter about like your time then?
It's not they don't even call it a race.
Yeah.
They call it like a challenge.
Yeah, it's like a team building.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kinda,
I mean, no, it was people were walking in between obstacles, and there's long waits in between the obstacles for people to go through. But it was a lot of fun, beautiful Whistler. And then we went to Whistler afterwards. We went to like this this club in Whistler, and we were walking home.
What? Garfinkel's?
No, it was Max Fish. I don't know.
Oh,
I'd never heard of it before. But the recommendation, we were like asking other people that had gone to Whistler before. This one guy, he said it's a little bit dirty, but it gets loose. And we were like, what does that even mean?
Dirty and loose.
What does that even mean? So of course we had to go there.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. It definitely got loose. I found out what loose meant. For those of you who want to know what loose means, just go to Max Fish's on a Saturday night. But we were walking home. We were exhausted. This was 3 a.m. We were walking in Whistler in this, those like little nature path walkways, like in Whistler, like the between streets or whatever. We were walking. We're all exhausted. And I think someone had a craft beer or something like that open. So technically we're like drinking in public, and they were really strict actually. We saw cops walking around earlier.
Oh really?
And we see this like flash of light, and we hear this like security. And I'm like, oh shoot, like oh my god, like we're screwed, like $160 ticket. And this guy walks up. He's like, oh, I'm just joking with you guys. I'm not actually security. And it's just a random guy at 3 a.m. in Whistler.
What a dingo.
And he was like, I just want to get your attention, guys. I stole yesterday an umbrella from a patio at Longhorn. He hit it in a cat track up on the mountain. I just want to go get it. So, you want to go get it? And we're like looking around at each other. We're like, it's like 3 a.m. Like, what is this guy? No, man, we're okay. We're good. We're gonna go home. And he's like, no, but what? Don't you guys want to go on an adventure?
What?
And he was like honestly hurt that we didn't go and find this massive umbrella.
The guy was definitely gonna kill you.
I know.
He was
we're like,
definitely gonna kill you.
Yeah. No, man, we're not gonna go with you to the mountain of Whistler at 3 a.m. to find an umbrella. He's like, oh, all right, yeah. See you guys. Yeah, your loss. Yeah.
Such
I remember.
I'm sure you regret it to this day.
Totally. Yeah.
last summer when I was in Whistler with a couple guys staying at one guy's cabin, we this was really stupid. We wanted to go to the abandoned train cars.
Car?
in the
Yeah,
forest. Yeah. So, for those who don't know, there's one area in the forest in Whistler where there's all these abandoned train cars, and people spray paint on them, and they're just in the forest. It's really interesting to just go visit. So we really wanted to go, and it was our first night there, and so we were like, oh, let's hang out.
It was at night?
Yeah, we were like...
I think I already just punched a massive hole through your logic right there. Yeah,
so we were like hanging out there, and because we'd all gotten up there like in the like late afternoon, early evening, then we were like, oh, let's hang out in the cabin for a little bit, and then how about we let's go to the train tracks. And so we went after the sun. Hold on, let's just pause the story for a sec.
Oh my God,
Angela's on her phone.
Stuff
She's out.
that we
She's
might discuss
We
later.
gave you time
totally
at
removed
the beginning of the
from the
evening
podcast
to do this. Josh and I are
I'm
both
so
prepared.
engaged, I promise.
Josh and I are both prepared, and you're not.
Stop. You didn't give me an agenda ahead of time.
But I don't know like where this idea came from. I mean, we were like, oh yeah, let's go to the train tracks right now. It'll probably be super cool at night. And so
no
we,
comment.
idea.
No
Yeah, so
comment.
we got
That
to the
sounds like
train
the
track.
worst idea ever.
There's so many bears in Whistler, and we just didn't think this one.
I know.
We had to walk
And there's no lights.
No lights. We had to walk way down these train tracks to get there, and we didn't even think about it. So we're walking down there. We're just walking on train tracks. It's like, oh yeah, well, it's really dark out, and we all got our like phone lights out and stuff. And then we turn around, and behind us, there's this little bear cub that just walks across our path.
You guys are actually just.
And I think seeing the bear cub is actually worse.
It
because
is.
you know the mother bear is somewhere.
And you don't
just
know
in the
where she
forest
is.
around you. So of course that moment we were all like, oh, dang. Like this was not a good idea at all. So we all just like got up. We just started like sprinting down the train tracks, but still towards the train cars. We still went to see the train wreck. But yeah, it was a dumb idea. We didn't get eaten.
Yeah.
Evidently,
So
but
I think that's Angela, I think you can agree that that's the poster child event for why males aged, was it 18 to 25 is like the highest casualty rate
Yeah,
in
makes sense.
accidents. I think that's a statistic.
Self-inflicted.
But I think
almost.
on the
I
way
think that's
back
a
we
statistic.
were trying to like make noise and stuff to like make ourselves known, you know.
great,
It was, like,
yeah.
try to keep the bears.
You
at
didn't have a
bay.
bear banger
Wow.
with you, did you?
Good effort.
Nope. No, great job. Yeah. So on that on that note, we're gonna go into our new segment. We call it "Groupies Are Us." That's R.
Angela loves it.
It's a letter R
That's a really good name.
in the quotation marks, similar to Toys R Us. And it's just about local concerts and stuff that we're gonna be going to. Angela, you actually have the first.
Yeah.
You get to christen it.
I do,
Yeah.
yes. This past Monday, I went to a throwback girl duo, Ali and AJ. It was quite a swell time. If anyone doesn't know who they are, I think everyone remembers Phil of the Future.
Great show.
If you had a childhood.
Love that show.
Yeah, the girl, I forgot her name, but the blonde best friend, that's Ali of Ali and AJ. And yeah, they sang potential breakup songs, some nice young girl anthems that it was great revisiting as an adult.
How are they still a thing?
Well, they totally changed their sound, like completely. Now they're very much alternative. Like, you know Tegan and Sarah?
Yeah.
They sound just
Yeah.
like them.
Really?
Yeah. Like
Oh, yeah, I like those
totally
guys.
different. Yeah.
Or those women.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Woman, yes.
I saw Tegan and Sarah perform live. I can't say I'm a huge fan of theirs, but
Yeah, it was kind of crazy seeing how they turned around their sound, and you could tell everyone in the audience kind of wanted their old songs more. So I mean, tickets were only $25,
Well,
so
I mean,
you can
give me
sing
a-
whatever you want for
come on,
25
like give me a
bucks.
break. Like they gotta know that nobody's coming for their new material.
I know,
Like,
exactly. But
Wow.
it's crazy to me because
Jeez,
they were like
that's
up
pretty
there.
harsh, man.
Come on, dude. Like
I know.
you're making music videos for the Disney Channel. No one's coming for your new material. Nobody even knows who
I
you are
know.
anymore,
You're stuck
right?
in that phase forever once you start there. So yeah, but it was interesting. I don't know how old they are, but yeah,
They're in their mid-20s.
I think they're like 26, like kind of
Yeah.
between late 20s, mid 20s. But yeah, it was quite a time. I knew all the songs, almost all the songs. And yeah, it was interesting seeing what they write and sing about now that we're all at different phases in life. And yeah.
Now that you don't watch the Disney Channel.
Was it less Disney
yeah.
Channel friendly material?
Yes, I would say so. More.
Dang.
It was like more raw. They actually sang opposed to just like jumping around and flipping their hair. So that was great. They did some theme songs for Twitches on Family Channel. If anyone remembers that Halloween movie,
Twitches?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
Nope.
Wasn't that about like
Twin Witches?
Okay. I wasn't gonna say that, but okay.
Yeah, but they did a bunch of stuff.
That's just gotta be like the dumbest name I've ever heard for a film. I mean, Twitches. It just sounds like you're like. Sounds like you're.
No, there's dumber names for films that I've seen.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, not seen, but
when I hear,
I've seen the movie.
When I hear Twitches, I think about like this is a documentary on
Twitch.
crystal meth abusers. Like,
Okay.
But,
I was not going to go that direction.
No.
I was going to say people with tics or maybe Tourette's.
You wouldn't call that Twitches though.
Yeah.
You just
Well,
like
you could call it. You can call it whatever
but
you want.
I feel like, come on, like it's like
major sci-fi.
Karen, here, stage this with me. It's like first scene of Twitches, scene 1. We're here with our crystal meth addict, Kieran Sanders. Yeah, so,
and Allie and AJ's there too.
Allie and AJ attempt, or it could be like a British one where it's like, Kieran has been struggling with crystal meth addiction before, unlike Channel 4.
Okay, check this out. Just like scene 1, take 1. Twitches. Kieran, tell us about the first time you took crystal meth.
It was well, way back then. And there's subtitles going on because you can't understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Way back when, but Ramsey Town, where I was just sitting around.
At this point in the interview, Kieran began twitching profusely.
Going around with my mates, and it's really. I was.
The subtitles just say like the subtitles just say like indiscernible.
At, like being a crystal meth.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, are you a functioning crystal meth addict?
Yeah, is it a familiar feeling?
Potentially.
But
you know my name, not my story.
Mm.
I guess we got a couple other concerts coming up here.
Mm-hmm.
I think last week we mentioned going to see. We were talking with Justin about going to see Needs at SBC Restaurant this upcoming Friday. Angela, I think you're still pending on whether you're coming or not.
Yep, currently pending.
I'm gonna have to remove my.
What do you got that's better today, Karen?
I'm actually going to my friend's concert, Brianna Clark. She's hosting a concert at a church in Vancouver. She's going to play some classical music and do some singing pieces.
Wow.
Oh, interesting.
At least
extremely wholesome.
Music related.
Yeah.
It can still be considered in the groupies RS category.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. So if anyone is interested, I'll throw the information up. It's on Friday. Brianna Clark's concert. She's extremely talented musician and singer. Now, Josh, you're going up and seeing the flippity fresh Bobby P.
Yeah.
When is it?
Bobby P. next Friday.
Yeah, flippity fresh.
For those who don't know of Bobby P, he's formerly known as Robert Plant of Led Zeppelin, but
that's his new stage name. Is
yeah,
Bobby P.
Bobby P.
Is it?
Yeah, hey, anything's a stage name,
Yeah,
right?
come on.
Yeah, sure.
When I get there, I'm gonna walk into the Orpheum Theater and be like, "Yeah, Bobby P," and he's gonna be like, "What? What?
What are you saying?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Who's Bobby P? Is that my opening act?" But yeah, no, I'm really excited to see that. The Orpheum Theater, and I know he plays a lot of old Zeppelin stuff, and I don't know, I'm just really excited to see like someone from Zeppelin. It's just like those guys are just such legends, you know, and it's just so, man, it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be
so
surreal,
much better than Greta Van Fleet, right?
Actually, to a little bit more on that argument. I mean, Kieran, you have been telling me about this guy, who's in a band, and
Matt Perkins.
Yeah, Matt Perkins.
Love that guy.
You're all the time. You're just like, oh, this guy's so cool.
Yeah.
He's in Black
Like
Pontiac.
that.
So cool. I want to have
it's
him
the name
on
of
the
his band.
podcast.
Yes.
You're like, oh, he's so.
I'd love to have him on the
You're like,
podcast.
oh, he's so cool.
That is
Then
all true.
He comments on our Instagram when we mention our Greta Van Fleet argument. Greta Van Fleet. They're my favorite Led Zeppelin cover band.
That's
and he roasted you, Kieran.
he's just a goon. He just absolutely.
Oh, what? He's not so
Wow.
cool anymore, Kieran? Because
No,
he
I
roasted
still
Greta Van
he's
Fleet?
absolutely he's way cooler than I will ever be. Love that guy. He's partly because he's in a band. I'm not in a band.
Yeah.
He's the lead singer of a band, and he writes some of the music in the band. So
so he understands
impressive.
songwriting and he understands why Greta Van Fleet is a Zeppelin cover band. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, Matt, we'd love to have you on the podcast, mainly just to roast Ciaran about Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah.
So please join us soon.
I've reached the point where I've grown content. I like Greta Van Fleet. I'm gonna listen to him. I
Yeah,
don't care what other
we'll
people
see.
say.
Matt and I
I
will
feel the
tip
same
you over
way.
the edge again.
Okay, sure. Josh, there's actually, this is gonna blow. Do you mind if I just take
Go for it.
take the reins here?
Yeah.
Okay, Josh. I don't know if you know this. I kept this a secret from him. This is a couple weeks old, and I wanted to tell you this, but I just keep forgetting every time I see you.
I'm so stressed.
Okay, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Courtney Love?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Do you know her daughter?
Yeah, Frances Bean.
Yes. Okay, Josh. Did you know that both of them are involved in an attempted murder plot?
Of Kurt Cobain.
No. I'm serious. Josh, no,
Wait,
I'm serious.
are you actually joking with me right now?
Of an actual person.
What?
Josh.
What?
So I'm going to tell you the story. I'm
Is
going
this
to forget the details.
Whoa.
I forget some of the details. Josh. So
What?
Courtney Love married Kurt Cobain. They had a baby, Frances Bean Cobain. Frances Bean Cobain grew up. She married another musician. I forget the guy's name. He, in the wedding, Frances Bean gifted Kurt Cobain's guitar that he played the Nirvana Unplugged in New York concert as
Why
a
would
wedding
you gift that?
As
Why
a
would
wedding
you give
gift.
that? What?
I don't know. It was a wedding gift. But anyways, Frances Bean and that musician, they divorced 2 years later.
All right.
In the settlement, the divorce proceedings, he successfully argued that guitar was his and took it despite I know, this guitar is priceless. This guitar would go, I would not be
That's
surprised if
That's
it went
cold.
for
Yeah.
hundreds of millions, this guitar, in auction. And so, because she gave it to him as a gift, Frances gave it to him as a gift. And anyways, Courtney Love's manager, Sam Lufty, who was the manager for Britney Spears during your 2007 meltdown. You know when she shaved her head?
Yeah.
Remember when Britney Spears shaved her head and started banging against the car?
How could
Yeah.
I forget?
He was the manager at that time.
Who
And
is this guy? Wow.
Sam Lufty. And anyways, who is it? Sam Lufty. And do you guys know 13 Reasons Why in Riverdale?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do the guy that plays Archie in Riverdale?
Yeah.
Yes.
That
Stop.
guy, I
What?
forget his
This
name.
goes so
KJ
deep.
Apa?
No, it's not KJ Apa.
Is
It's
it-
the Asian. He's vaguely.
He's
I think
Reggie in the show.
Yes.
But I don't know his name.
and
either.
he's in 13 Reasons Why too. Sam Lufty, went to this guy's house, the ex-husband of Frances Bean.
So deep.
Went to
Oh
Frances
my
Bean's house,
gosh.
right? That guy's house. When his mom was there with one of the guys in his band was also there. They banged on the door and were saying, "That's the police! Open the effing door! Open the effing door!" Forced their way in,
That sounds
grabbed
like
him,
police.
and the guy opened the door. He didn't know what to do, and then he was like threatening them. He was apparently like sexually assaulted too.
What?
He was,
Okay.
yes.
What?
Holy.
Not like, I mean, it was, okay, read the police report, but it was like they grabbed his crotch apparently or something like that. And they were like, actually like, manhandling him and saying like, we have to get the guitar or we're going to effing kill you and all this
is
stuff.
the Riverdale guy.
Riverdale
that's
guy
getting
and Sam
manhandled.
Lufty.
Okay.
Whoa.
No.
Okay, right.
Riverdale guy is doing the manhandling.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay.
Same with Sam Lufty. And then it was lucky. That guy was lucky that his mom and his bandmate were there because his mom was there like in the commotion, like trying to break it up. The bandmate called the police. The police came and Sam Lufty and the Riverdale guy said, "Oh, we're just here like talking to this guy. We weren't like doing anything." And they got off. But then the guy, the ex-fiance, filed so many charges against them. Obviously,
Yeah.
if what he says actually happened. And my mom said this to me, and I looked into it a couple weeks ago, and I was floored because you go on Courtney Love's Instagram, there's pictures of the guy from Riverdale. There's of them
all
hanging out,
connects?
There's
Oh,
pictures of Sam
no.
Lufty hanging out with the guy from Riverdale.
Dang.
On his Instagram, there's pictures of like those three guys, like Sam Lufty, the Riverdale guy, and Courtney Love, hanging out with like Rick and Morty creator Justin Roiland.
Justin's involved in
I know.
this?
He was just hanging out like that kind of. It's so weird to like go on Instagram
Yeah.
and creep like these lives because they're all like friends and they all
Yeah.
hang out
That's
together.
You wouldn't
weird.
necessarily think they do.
Oh
either.
no, but it just can you believe that, man? That's the insane.
That's wild.
That is
Okay,
insane.
That gave so much freaking like ammo to everybody who is always like theorizing about Courtney Love planning to kill Kurt Cobain. Like, wow.
And also, like, do you know that entertainment rundown thing on Snapchat. It's really trashy.
Like the little news
yeah,
story.
the little news story.
Yeah.
I always just skip it. I never watch it. But she did a story on that, and I had to watch it because I had to see. And she, like this entertainment person, ran a story about, basically she said what happened or what allegedly happened. It hasn't been proven in court yet. But she was friends with the Riverdale guy because she's had him on the show several times because he's on 13 Reasons Why. He's pretty popular. And she was like, hopefully this guy, didn't do anything wrong. I think he totally was involved with some bad folks.
Huh.
Like, totally. But think about it. This guitar is worth millions.
Yeah.
That guitar is worth millions. And Courtney Love and Frances Bean Cobain both say that it should belong to their family. And Courtney Love's pulling the, I loved him. He's the love of my life card.
Come on,
I married him. I was with him. I gave birth to his child.
Courtney Love also said that the other bandmates of Nirvana shouldn't get any royalties from it. All the royalties should go to her. It's like, you weren't even a part of the band, dude. What are you talking about?
Oh, man. Okay. I just had to say that.
Wow.
That actually, it was...
That's wild.
It was like that scene in,
I'm going to look into that now.
Yeah, like detective movies or like thrillers where like the truth is like being revealed in like the last 10 minutes. And he's having like a flashback to all these different clues, right?
Wow.
It was like that basically for me a couple weeks ago.
That's crazy.
That's
so weird.
Whew. Sorry, Josh, you had a news story.
Yeah, you something.
I wanted to share with you for so long, and every time I hung out with you, I was like, oh, I should have talked to Josh about that, but I never did.
All right, I got a couple, but I think I'll go with this one just for now. It's pretty interesting. Woman gets head stuck in truck's exhaust pipe at Minnesota Music Festival.
Heard about that. It's a country music festival, right?
I think it was. From the looks of it.
Was it intent? Like, what?
Oh, man.
That has to be intentional.
Yeah.
Come on.
That has to be intentional.
Oh, man. Okay.
Oh, she was 19.
She's 19. She's from Minnesota.
My gosh. I'm 19.
45 minutes in the exhaust
45
pipe.
minutes in the exhaust pipe.
I'm surprised she didn't actually die.
Yeah, 19 too. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm 19, and I would never consider doing that. Like,
Why?
No.
How would you fit your head in the exhaust pipe?
Not even an option, putting your head in an exhaust pipe.
Okay, here's a quote from her. We were just all having fun, and I saw this big exhaust pipe, and I was like, hey, my head could probably fit in that, so I tried it.
I think you need to go... Man. It's Minnesota, not like Tennessee. But I wouldn't be surprised if this happened in Tennessee.
Well, yeah, but it's a music festival. People are coming from all over the place, right?
Oh, true. She probably could be from Tennessee.
Oh, come on. Give me a break. What? There's so many things that your head can fit into that you shouldn't put your head in, like a wood chipper. Come on. Come on. Oh, man.
No,
what?
Firefighters had to come cut her out. I heard about this, actually, on the radio. Yeah. That's country music festivals for you.
Okay, it says...
How do you breathe?
Okay, she's not ashamed of what she did, and she finds humor in it. Okay, well, I guess that's a good that's a good.
Was she hammered?
Point of view on it? Yeah.
I have to say yes.
Yeah. Kate, like that kind of. I could see a drunk person.
Well, that's one point of view to have on it.
She goes, yeah, I'm the tailpipe girl. What you know about it? Is what she said.
That's what she said?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Well handled.
Yeah, I think she really turned that into a successful media career that she could launch.
Does it even say her? Does it say her name? Yeah. Okay.
Come on, like when you're.
What's her name?
Caitlin Strom. Yeah.
When you're a firefighter,
Katie,
and you get called to do this sort of stuff, like there's got to be a part of you where you just want to leave these people, you know? That you're just like, ugh.
I could be saving lives right now.
Yeah.
Sorry, he's probably saving a life right now, but there's people in actual need right now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay, I'll hit you with one more.
Yeah. Another quick little.
Dr. Slam. Yeah. Dr. Slam by MedBard for selling $5 homeopathic sound waves for Ebola.
What?
Where is it?
It says patients were downloading audio files of the e-remedies on doctor's website.
Gosh.
But where is it? If it's
California,
like further. Okay.
Oh, California. Oh man. They're threatening to revoke the license of Dr. William Edwin Gray III. That's a pretty fantastic name.
Yeah.
Dr. William Edwin Gray III. Oh man. Okay, come on. So he claims that the homeopathic sound files over the internet, which he's why am I not having words right
Selling?
now? Selling or like distributing these sound
Dealing.
files. He claims, it says, without evidence or reason, can cure many different ailments, including life-threatening infections such as Ebola, SARS, swine flu, malaria, typhoid, and cholera. Can you imagine if it actually could? I mean,
Well, then basically like a huge. Well, I know cholera
I
specifically.
wonder what sound it
Like
would
the
be.
UN would have so much more money to deal with other issues because they spend a lot on cholera. Same with other, what is it, NGOs. I'm sure that they would have so much more capital to deal with.
Yeah. I'm
this is
curious,
how he
do
developed
you
them.
even
Yeah. So he
contact-
says the sound waves can carry the energetic signal in homeopathic remedies to treat
Oh, it
patients.
treats them.
Is
Yeah.
I thought just like Oh,
It's supposed
interesting.
to heal him or something. He says he's able to collect this energy by placing vials of homeopathic remedies in electrified wire coils and recording any emitted sounds.
Does he call it homeopathic in that? That's his quote
Yes,
right there?
yeah.
What's the definition of homeopathic? Isn't it like something that's...
Well, let's see.
I'm maybe thinking of another word that kind of means like it doesn't really work, but it's like like rhino horn.
Yeah.
Like there's no science to its healing properties, but people still use it to...
So, all right, so it says relating or using homeopathy.
So
That's
helpful.
very helpful.
Thanks,
Look up
Google.
homeopathy. And
But
then you would know.
Yeah, but I mean, okay.
Because
so
if he's even... The point I was going to make is if he's even calling it like
Mm-hmm.
a placebo in his little flyer that he hands out to his patients, then I think that people should really do their homework before getting this.
Okay, so it just says they're hissing sounds. They're 13-second recordings, and there's 263 of them for $5 a piece for a 13-second recording. And this is gonna heal you, dude.
Wow.
It's gonna heal you of your diseases. Come on.
Is it different hissing? Like, what if someone buys
I
like...
know, I want to know
it's
what
probably
it sounds
sounds
like.
all
That's
buys
what
like
I'm saying.
5 and it's like just repeats after 5?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
And they're like,
surprised
oh,
if it's all
dang,
the same sound.
I got scammed.
Yeah.
I was supposed to
I
get...
wonder if it says...
I want to get 230 of these.
And then they're like,
How long you have to listen
they're
to
like,
it?
this is garbage. I'm gonna go get some jelly juice.
Oh, no.
Washing this down with some jelly juice.
Yeah.
They should have... You know what? I would love to see a convention.
Yeah.
Like, instead of Comic-Con, have like Disgraced Doctors Con
Yeah.
of the jelly juice.
Ooh.
I'm talking... What is this guy's name again?
William
This is,
Edwin.
William Edwin
something
Gray the
third.
Third, is
Yes.
it?
Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
I'd like to have that guy. I'd like to have... Who is it? Well, he's not really a doctor, but... I don't know. I guess, convention of scam artists.
Yeah.
Like the guy
Yeah.
that's
We're
selling...
gonna do that in a couple months. Just like check back on these guys and report.
Yeah.
You know.
We should actually throw
Yeah.
some
Follow
lines
up.
to these guys. We should contact
Get them
Jelly
on the
Juice.
podcast.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Get a
if we got
statement.
this guy on the...
We'll make
Wow.
it sound like we're plugging
Like,
there.
people-
Well, you know
Believe it,
what?
yeah.
I would actually just be interested to see where... Sorry, Angela, I just hit
It's
your thigh.
fine.
I would actually be interested to see where this guy's headspace is at.
Yeah.
Just to see.
He's a scam. Come on.
That's just like
Yeah.
so
And if
out
he
of left
actually
field.
believes
don't
it, I don't
how
know.
even-
Yeah, I don't know how
He's
he
very
managed to
creative.
become a
He's very
doctor.
creative.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
tell
what
him
I was-
that.
Like, I wouldn't have even thought to put sound.
Yeah, well, I mean, this
That's so
guy's
interesting.
saying that this is what he's doing it with wire coils. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's like cracking eggs and putting them on frying pans and just recording that sound. You know,
Waking up.
he's like making some scrambled eggs and it's just like. Shh. He's
And then he
like,
turns it
yeah.
off. Like 13 seconds, turns it off.
That's
Starts the
so
bacon.
funny.
Turns
Yeah.
on another one. That's another.
He's like, I'm
sound
out of
bit.
eggs. He's like, oh, I got another $5 off this audio file. I'm gonna buy some more eggs. Yeah, he's a lazy doctor.
The lazy doctor. All right, Angela. This is the heavy part of the episode, I guess. How much
Yeah.
time do we have left?
No.
We got around like
minutes
10
left.
minutes. I think
It
we got
deserves
some
a
Okay.
time.
mention.
It deserves
Yeah.
a mention. I think that we have pretty similar views on the
Yeah,
on the topic.
I think so.
So
yeah.
it won't take too long. We won't have a big debate about it. The rapper XXXTentacion, I think that's how you call him.
Yeah.
He calls his stage name. He was recently shot in Miami. He died.
Yeah. 20 years old.
20 years old. And the response to it has been very, it's been very interesting, definitely, to see
Yeah.
where people's heads are at,
Yeah.
like with the issue, I guess. Josh, you want to?
Yeah. Well, because I think initially a lot of people were putting stuff on social media like, oh,
Well,
we lost
some people
a legend.
didn't even think that it was real.
Yeah.
To start off with,
Yeah.
because a lot of his songs deal with like suicide and more like darker themes.
Yeah.
People thought it was like a music video that they
Yeah.
were filming.
Yeah. But
Yeah. No, I read a few people that were like, it's a
Yikes.
music video. It's
Yeah.
okay. He tweeted about it or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
But I think a lot of people who did believe that he'd actually died at first were putting out stuff like, oh, we lost a legend today, or like, what a like great guy, or like some people were going as far to be like, oh, like we lost you, like all you ever like gave us was love, and like all this stuff, like just they're like praising this guy. And then it came out like shortly afterwards where everybody else was kind of saying like, we shouldn't be praising this guy as a legend because he beat up his pregnant girlfriend.
well,
right?
all this stuff was known before.
Yeah. And for whatever reason, it was not really overshadowing his career, the fact that he was doing all this stuff, and he was like making like really like terrible like homophobic comments. Like I saw.
Well, didn't he beat up? He was brought up on assault, didn't he?
For assaulting someone in jail. That
Yeah.
was gay.
Yeah. Well, he was already in prison, and he assaulted, I believe, his cellmate because his cellmate was looking at him or something like that.
Yeah.
And he took. I don't even know if anything about the cellmate has been, like, I don't know who it is, or I don't think it's been released.
If
So
you look it up, you can see like a whole timeline of like how things happened, which was an interesting read.
Yeah. But I ended up like reposting some stuff about that I saw on like Instagram stories about it because I don't know. I thought it was like just stupid that people were like praising this guy. And one of the interesting points it made is it's like he's kind of enabled a generation of guys to justify like treating like women and like people who are part of the LGBTQ community poorly because of their mental health issues. I mean, the guy I was actually going to talk about him earlier on the podcast like a couple of weeks ago, and I forgot about it. I mean, remember he released a song, and it was all about how he's talking about like, oh, if you leave me, I'm gonna kill myself, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's not really how, like, if you're actually suicidal, it's not you're going to kill yourself because of someone else, because you're going to kill yourself because you don't think that like you think the world's better off without you, sort of thing. Like you think the people in your life are better off without you,
or that you have
like,
nothing left.
Yeah, and he's using it as like a manipulative tool, and it's
even
just
like the day before like posted a really cryptic like video about like him like taking his life and stuff.
Yeah, it was a live video.
Yeah, and so that was odd that it happened the day before.
Yeah. And
but it was kind of like, it was interesting because when rappers die, I find specifically to like other rappers in the community will like go on social media and like show their support. Like huge names that probably would be like bad PR for them, but like Kanye West released tweets and stuff.
He
like,
did.
Yeah.
Lost a legend. Like I saw Noah Cyrus too was doing stuff, like really people you wouldn't really think.
Noah Cyrus?
Random people, yeah.
Who's Noah Cyrus?
Miley Cyrus's little sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it was interesting. Like I feel like that I never understood, like in high school, like everyone was really like trap was like a music like community.
Yeah.
Like it's all you listen to at parties and like lots of social gatherings. And I never really understood like how people can bond with that kind of music and identify with it necessarily, but that's my own experience. But when XXXTentacion,
I think there's a third X in there.
yeah. Triple X.
Yeah.
We can just call him X.
Yeah, that'd be easier. Died. He like so much controversy, and all this rapper community like really like rose to the occasion and was defending him. I mean, no one deserves to die, but it's just like how you acknowledge.
We shouldn't. I don't think we should celebrate his death.
No.
But I don't think we should be acknowledging him as this like great icon, like legend, or because it's, I don't know, it's just pretty terrible. And I mean, and just like going further with the whole like mental health issues as an excuse sort of thing. I was even putting out there like, if like take a look at like what Kurt Cobain had to say about like women in the LGBTQ community despite his mental health issues. I mean, that guy actually killed himself, and he had some terrible mental health issues
For a lot of his life.
Yeah. And
not to say that his suffering was any, like, I'm not going to quantify it more than or less than what X faced.
Yeah.
But Kurt Cobain died when he was 27, correct? So he had it for much. He had more life under his belt, I guess.
But
I don't doubt that X had mental health issues, but I think he was using it as a marketing tool for a lot of it. I was going to say that
too, because if you look into it, you can see like that timeline he invested in like a lot of charities against domestic abuse and supporting the LGBTQ community, like almost as like a PR stunt.
Yeah.
Like investing in these organizations, even though it's very clear he has multiple charges on him relating to those communities. So. And
then you look at someone like Kurt Cobain, who like there's no question he had like very serious mental, like the guy killed himself. When he went about, like he would deny like having like mental health issues, you know. It was more so like in hindsight, people would look back at his music and they kind of realize like, oh crap, like this guy, like this is what this guy was talking about the whole time. Like this was his kind of cry for help. I mean, originally he wanted the title of Nirvana's third and what turned out to be their
I
final
Hate Myself
album.
and I Want to Die. Yeah,
and they released a song of the same name, and he was telling people originally like, oh yeah, it's just a joke because everyone thinks that I have mental health issues and that I want to kill myself, and he's like, and I obviously don't, and he's like, and it's just it's satire, it's joke, it's a
like
joke.
A really sick joke.
Yeah, and he was like, but then I decided not to because I didn't think people would get it. And he's like, yeah, obviously I'm never going to kill myself. A couple months later, he does kill himself, right? So he's not grasping for attention with mental health issues. Like, if anything, he was trying to cover them up, right? So it wasn't a marketing deal for him, you know?
And it's a good comparison for thought. But
I just want to comment, because this guy was, I think, the most popular artist. Yeah, if you count by streams, I think
he was
is
only 20. He was like in his peak.
He was 20,
sure.
and he had the most streams out of any artist. Like this guy was ahead of Jay-Z, Kanye West, Beyonce. I guess just counting streams, not album sales. Yeah. Because part of that is I don't think a lot of his audience has the money to buy his music or whatever, and he didn't really put a lot of effort into selling albums or just releasing them.
True. Yes.
And getting streams. So this guy, one of arguably the most popular artist on the planet, and part of that because it's all online.
Most popular artist on the planet.
I would say so.
In the community.
Streams.
Oh.
Yeah, in the community, man. Dude, this guy had more than Beyonce. I would say he was definitely up there. One of the most popular.
Maybe on streaming. I don't think out of all the artists out there right now, I don't think he's one of the most popular.
Just because you don't like him doesn't mean you.
No, it's not that I don't like him, but I just what songs are of his are like so like memorable to people that everyone's like, oh yeah, I know that song.
Well, you're not in the scene, man.
Yeah, I know, but there's artists that I'm not a part of said scene that I would still be able to hear a song from and be like, okay, oh yeah, I know it's them, you know.
But I feel like rap is just like so different from like almost any other music form.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say that, but yeah, I remember like listening to music from him at like every party and stuff, and like SoundCloud, even like if you read about it, they like released a hate speech policy regarding him, and then like he sued them, and because that's the way
he
makes
win?
Yeah, he won.
Oh, really?
They took it off because they took all his music off SoundCloud, and then they added it back after that got ruled out. And then he even got out of like a sentence because he convinced the court that he needed to go on tour to like be financially stable because all his music is streamed.
Oh yeah.
So he got out of like parole or something to go on tour.
What?
So it's like just so interesting.
I feel like he's probably more than financially stable.
I know. Or I mean, like, I'm like, what's your lifestyle? Like, I'm sure you're financially stable if like you just
Well, I think that just because an artist is popular nowadays doesn't mean they're making money.
I know.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, he was going to buy a brand new motorcycle.
You can just cut me off.
Yeah.
That's cool. No worries. Do you know Bobby Shmurda, Angela?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he is another rapper who's in jail, and I think he had like a bail posted or something like that, or some fine he was obligated by court to pay. And they gave him like did they appraise his value or something like that? They gave him. I think
they evaluated.
They evaluated him, and he actually said, because he had this hit song, and he actually had to tell the court like, I actually don't have that much money. I'm like, it's all streaming, right? It's all on YouTube views, right? Yeah. But just one thing I wanted to say about the story is there's this one like another rapper. I think it's like Red Killa or something like that. I don't know. I had never heard of him before.
I love that. guy.
I
Red
love
Killer.
Red.
I'm bumping his stuff all the time. I got all of Red Killer's records.
Yeah, I got him on vinyl. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
prolific
Red
artist.
Killer
Love
on
his,
vinyl.
Yeah, and his
Wow.
record label, Red Killer Records.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Red Killer Records,
Great stuff.
RKR.
Yeah.
He is this young kid. I saw a video of him. He looks like he's 16. This kid is so young.
Like Lil Pump.
Yeah, like
Like
it's
Little
just
Pump, pretty much.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
But he, like, apparently the whole, like, I just thought it was so crazy how the online people got whipped up, and it. I think in this scene,
The fandom.
he was actually like in so much
Yeah.
danger because someone saw, or someone tweeted that they saw a person with a red mask running away from where X was killed.
Was he in danger of being
Oh my
red?
goodness.
And the thing is,
Red
though,
Killed?
red, no, yeah, like red, or I think it's like Red Zombie or something like that.
Okay.
But Red Zombie in one of his music videos wore a red mask, and everyone was saying like Red Killer.
Why would he
Killed
make
X.
it that
You're
obvious?
crazy.
But the thing is, though, I can totally see
Well, actually,
in Miami,
in the
like, a
generation
fan
of-
X
in the
just
generation
running up
of,
and gunning him down
yeah.
for no reason.
Mhm.
In the generation of SoundCloud rappers, they're actually all
Totally,
so
yeah.
dumb. Like I can see that. Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't understand like
Ugh, so
every third
interesting.
word this guy said in this because he had to
I
release a
know,
video.
Yeah.
A Red Killer, or I don't know who he
Red
is.
Zombie.
Red Zombie something.
Yeah.
He released a video on Instagram saying basically like, I did not kill you know,
Kieran's just on a roll with impressions.
I didn't kill X. I love X. I got nothing respect for a guy. I did not kill that guy though. I give prayers to his family, condolences. I did not kill him though. I did not shoot that
I
guy.
mean, what is he gonna say? Like if you shot him, he'd be like, "Yeah, I shot him." Like no.
I could see some stupid rappers.
Actually,
doing
yeah.
that
Actually, I
for sure.
definitely could.
Half their
Like,
songs were like killing
who?
people.
There's
so.
I can't remember which
Not
rapper
to
I was just hearing about
generalize.
recently who wrote a bunch of songs about like how he was dealing cocaine and then got busted for dealing cocaine. So yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. All right, let's should we
yeah,
hop
that's
in a
pretty much
song of the
it.
week?
Yeah, sure, Josh. Do you want to hit it up?
Wow.
Or actually, Angela, you're
Angela.
the ghost. You're the guest.
Took a lot of thought, but I've just been bumping a lot of like old Imagine Dragons lately because Dan Reynolds is coming out with
Love those
a
guys.
documentary.
Really?
Yeah, it's coming out on the 25th on HBO. Should be good.
Yeah.
Anyways,
About it's about homosexuality in the Mormon Church, right?
yeah, because he identifies as Mormon, which is so.
Well, no, isn't
Dan Reynolds.
he a Mormon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is it called Identify?
but he's
someone?
saying like you can identify with a religion or a faith.
Oh, really?
Like he
Okay.
calls himself a unique Mormon.
Oh.
Anyways, so yeah, I would have to say my song of the week is Polaroid from the Smoke and Mirrors album by Imagine Dragons. And there you go.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Not very
Why?
popular one. I think it like I didn't really listen to the Smoke and Mirrors album. I didn't really like it. It's not my favorite one. But then I don't know. I get really into songs that are relevant to my life at the moment, and that one is very pertinent to my life right now.
Cool.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good tune. Would suggest.
All right, Josh, I'm gonna give my song of the week.
Am I gonna be
because
mad?
You're gonna be mad. You're gonna
Ah,
tear into
Ciaran.
me, but I don't really
no.
care.
Is it Greta Van Fleet?
No, it's not.
Oh.
It's Anderson Paak. He's a rapper. He was actually nominated for Best New Artist a few years back.
Oh yeah, the Grammys. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Grammys are they're always spot on.
I'm just
with
giving
their awards.
context. I'm just giving context for the audience because they may remember, Josh. It's not just you. You're not the only one that listens to this thing. I listen to this too. It's called Come Down. It's off his latest album called Malibu.
That's
Came out in
original for a
2016.
rapper to write about coming down. Wow.
Hey Josh, I'm just gonna be square with you right now. Didn't interrupt you when you said your points, and I don't really appreciate being interrupted now. Angela, do you have any 2 cents to give on this? Because I'd really
I'd
like a
like-
third party to back me up on this
I
one.
mean, I think he'll stay out of this one for sure.
Oh, well.
It seems like an ongoing conflict. So
This has been
I'm
on
sure there's some
birth,
deeper issues. Yeah.
probably. And the reason I like this album, I actually listened to it before I went to Whistler. It has a great mix of he was originally a gospel drummer apparently, and has a great mix of jazz and blues. No, I'm serious, man.
Okay.
It actually is pretty complex. It's not like XXXTentacion. Like this
Okay.
is, I actually really enjoy this rap. There's deeper layers to it. Similar to Kendrick, he's worked a lot with Dr. Dre. So he's like the production value's off the charts.
Double D.
Yeah, double D. And the big D, some may say. Big D.
Of course.
And
Perfect.
I'm always a fan of Big D's work.
You know, he actually has also been selling 13-second audio clips for $5.
Really?
Yeah. Dr. Dre?
Huh.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's how he made his billions.
Of course.
But this one song actually, Come Down, great song. And it's kind of like the reason that this is my song of the week, out of all the songs on the album, I really like all of them, actually. There's a few that are like standouts, but Calm Down is the one that stands out. My friend Tristan, there's one line in the song. It's like, you drank up all my liquor, come on. And there's like a funky little beat that comes on afterwards.
Yeah.
And, like over the entire weekend, my friend Tristan and I, we were walking around the cabin or doing Tough Mudder or whatever. We're at Max Fish. And we'd just be like, there'd be a lull in like the conversation. And Tristan or I would look at each other and be like, you drank up all my liquor, come on. And like, that's what we would do.
Oh, dude, you're gonna get sued for copyright. I mean, whoa.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, whoa, that was accurate.
I know, it was so accurate to Anderson Paak.
Yeah.
So that's why it's my song of the week. And it's also a really funky tune. It's got a great bass line on it.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of it.
All right. So my song. I don't know if you remember me talking about Baptist a couple weeks ago when I ran into the lead singer of Baptist. Yeah. So they had just come out with a new album at the time, and on the weekend when I was out at actually Car Free Day on Main Street, where they got all the vendors set up on the streets and all that, and the whole street is just open up for people to walk up and down. I popped into Red Cat Records, and they had the new Baptist album Beacon of Faith there. So I picked that one up, and I've been listening to it a lot lately, and it's been a really odd mix of music for me lately, because I've either been listening to Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys or Beacon of Faith by Baptist, who are they're metallic hardcore punk. It's pretty they're opposite ends of the spectrum. But I really like the title track Beacon of Faith. I was reading the lyrics on the inside of the album, and a lot of the lyrics to a lot of the songs are really, really interesting, profound. I mean, you can go back to the podcast earlier, a couple weeks ago, where I was actually talking about the lead singer and his experiences, but he writes a lot of really interesting songs on this album, and Beacon of Faith is just about people. It's basically about the problems with organized religion, I think, and people who follow faith and have all these kind of corrupted ideas without any proof to support their faith in anything. And I think it's a really good track. It's really well driven, and it's obviously very intense, because all their music is very intense, but there's just this certain intensity that comes in towards the end of the song, where there's kind of a repeat of the verse, but it's the vocals are much deeper than before, and they're just so they're just pummeling, and they hit you really hard, and it's just really well put together, really well produced. The instrumentation is great as always from those guys, and yeah, it really gets the message across, I think, well on the track. It's a great one, so I'd check that one out. And also, they're from Vancouver, so good to support local music, you know? But yeah, that's my song of the week, Beacon of Faith by Baptist. I check out the album. The entire album's great.
Yeah. All right. So I think that pretty much does it.
Angela, you got anything else you want to add on?
Yeah,
How was
Angela,
your
you were so anxious to start off. I thought you were gonna start crying.
I know, I was a bit nervous, but it was fun.
We were gonna make you cry for the second time.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I know. It was fun.
Yeah.
Hope
So do you have
to be back.
Oh, absolutely. We have you back anytime. Do you have any words of encouragement for any prospective guests? Because Josh, I don't know about you, but I actually had quite a few people who've been like, "Oh, can I be on your show?"
Yeah.
I've more so had people just be salty about they'd be like, yeah,
oh yes,
you haven't invited me onto the Ciaran and Josh experience.
Yeah, that was me at first, not gonna lie. I would say, I don't know, just come ready to participate, be interesting. I don't know.
Wow, that's horrible advice.
No,
oh my
yeah, nice advice, Angela.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, maybe we won't have you.
Yeah,
no, I was just gonna say, I don't know if we can fit you in our busy schedule anymore, Angela.
I just messed it up.
But scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Oh my gosh.
Scale of 1 to 10, Angela. How's your experience?
I would have to say it was a solid 10, honestly.
Oh my
It was
god.
great.
I'm
I had a good
blushing.
time.
The rosé was nice. The
It
incense was very scented,
the
very
ambiance
nice.
was great.
Yeah.
The
Will you write a
conversation
blog
was
post about us?
fantastic.
Yeah, I will definitely feature.
Yes,
you
check
in a
out
blog post
Angela's
for sure.
Oh,
blog
awesome.
to find out the inside story on the.
And if
Ciaran
you
and
do,
Josh
you need any,
Yes, a
you know,
behind the scenes
No.
commentary.
yeah, sure. If you need any, headshots or anything, any photos,
Yeah.
to put on your blog, I got my headshots.
Oh, we'll
in.
hook you up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I'll sauce them your way.
Great.
And
Yeah.
if you have any agents or prospective talent agencies,
Yeah,
that-
we'll talk
Yeah.
to your PR guy.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I work for a PR agency.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
I could connect you guys for
really?
sure. Yep.
Well, I
Do-
mean,
do you
Justin.
wanna
We
just
have Justin.
add my
McKenzie as our
headshots and
PR
my
Yeah,
guy.
for
my
sure.
resume just in
Yeah.
case.
Mariana's
Something-
Trench is one of our clients, so there's lots of potential
Do
for you guys.
those guys need anything?
I
any
think
kind
we're
of-
bigger than them. They kind of fell
Yeah, I
off
know.
the face of the earth, and they fell.
2013.
I
They
think
fell
that's
way down
funny.
to the bottom of Mariana's Trench, and we're somewhere up
Oh,
at the
the
top
peak.
of the ocean.
oh,
Yeah.
high five! You slam dunked
Well
those guys.
Oh.
done.
Yeah.
Yes, but I will feature you
Yeah.
for sure.
Well,
All right,
thank you very much,
beautiful.
Angela. Yeah, I have nothing more to say on the
Yeah.
podcast.
All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's been a great episode,
It truly
Yes.
has.
and let's thank Angela one more time for coming on. It's
Thank
been,
you, Angela.
been
Do you want to do a
pleasure.
golf clap?
Yeah, a little golf clap for Angela.
Wow. Thank you.
Very nice.
Nice
And
shot, Angela. Nice shot.
we'll see you next week with our guest. Who knows?
Yeah. Or do you want to do that thing like on The Simpsons where they do like, that was a really great, and they cover their voice and they do like a stock like word or something so they can change it for like later. You know what I'm saying?
No, I actually have no idea what you're talking
Okay, never
about.
mind
It's
then.
not a good way
people-
to end the podcast.
Yeah.
Tune in to find out who it's gonna be.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, leave it at a cliffhanger. I
There
like
you
that.
go.
It's gonna. So tune in next week to
To
listen with our
to the
next guest.
guest.
Their
Their
name is.